Okay, going to do a flyover of Burnaby Mountain. Big shout out to Jeff for an amazing job, and thank you to Justin for the structures. They look fantastic. Going to adjust the lighting. Okay. Might be a little dark if you're watching on a monitor or a TV, but on the projector it comes out a little bit brighter. I'm going to start with a free flight. Well, I'm going to do the whole thing in free flight mode, but I'm going to start with a little fly around of the course layout. So you can kind of see one coming through here with the cursor, coming down 2, back to 3, par 3, 4's hidden over here, coming back down 5, up in 6 here, back in the corner tee box of 7, coming down, coming through the pathway over to a eagle's eye view of 8 tee box, flying down, coming down 9, another eagle eye view. Here's the pro shop right in here. Golf carts ready out for the day. Got the restaurant, clubhouse, bistro all in here. This little 2 areas are the practice screens out in front of the restaurant. If we flip around over to this way, we've got I have to probably fly up a little bit higher for this portion, but in here you've got the practice green here, little practice bunker over here with some pins if you want to practice your bunker play. You've got the chipping facility over in here, quite a large area to practice on. Fantastic area for dialing in the short game and the putting, because we all know putting is king. And if we take a look at number 10 here, flying through here, coming the backside of the course on 11, coming down 12 here, got par 3 13th with their repair green over here when they need to do some repairs on the greens, crossing the road onto the 14th tee, coming up the big dog leg up the hill to the 15th par 3 up the hill. On the back side of the course, coming down 16 right there, across the creek running down the whole length of 16. Come back over to the 17th here, to the 18th, down, and finish on the 18th. Give me a second. I'm just going to take a screenshot. Okay. Put that in for later. So I'm going to fly down now. Oh, check out the little gazebo though out there as well. I'm going to fly down now onto the tee. Let's go to the blues. Oh, I don't want to go into the ground. Okay. And let's just do a flight of the course. Downhill approach coming into the first green. The defense on this green is it's heavily sloped. You definitely want to Try and leave that ball below the pin if you can. Number 2, pretty birdieable hole. Green's relatively flat, wide open. Tee shot. You got to be pretty errant to get into trouble. You don't want to go long though behind this green. It is inner OB. It's a lost ball, so you will be re-hitting from where you last hit. Fly down into the third tee box. Give it a spin around here. See, it's a nice look off the third tee. If you're going to play a draw off this tee, you got to be pretty accurate with it. You go a little bit too left, it will run out and get blocked by the trees up on the left, forcing a layup. Got a little pond just in front here. Another heavily sloped green. Going over to the fourth hole now. Tricky little par 3. Doesn't look all that difficult, but the green is tough, and if you miss this on the left side, the up and down is very difficult. Everything slopes from left to front, or back to front. The fifth hole coming down in here. Nice little hole. Dog leg to the left. Come down into like kind of the tee level. They kind of blocked out a big swooping draw with this tree here. Generally want to hit a straight ball or even a cut now if you're right-handed. OB on the right, so you got to watch your tee shot there. Relatively flat green, has a big false front though. Does slope off on the sides quite a bit, so if you a bit errant, the ball will be gone. Par 3, up the hill. Pretty straightforward par 3. You just got to hit a solid shot to the middle of the green and you'll be good. Coming to the 7th. 7th is pretty birdieable hole, but a lot of people do get in trouble with this hole, with OB being right and trees on the left that you can get stuck in pretty easily. Coming down there. Pretty accessible pin for a Friday pin. Nice little creek that you go over. Coming into handicap number 1 here on the front. Swing around a bit. Pretty tough tee shot. It's pretty narrow up there to split the fairway. You a little bit right, you're in trouble. You're dropping, and your drop is generally going to be blocked out as well. Trees on the left are pretty tough to get out of, but green is not protected, and it's fairly flat green, so a good tee shot will be rewarded with a birdie chance. Into 9 here. And you can choose to cut the corner on the dog leg. Requires a pretty solid shot. If you drift left, you're pretty much toast. Right is a hazard as well. Green is, I believe, slightly front to back actually, so it's a little bit tricky. Sometimes a shot you think is a pretty solid approach ends up not where you think it's going to be. 10's a pretty tough hole. It's a long par 4. It's a little bit of trouble on the left if you pull it, but a good tee shot will be rewarded. Green sloped again. Green is quite tricky, so you got to make sure you leave that ball in a good spot. Coming into 11 here. 11 pretty straightforward par 4, about 410 yards from the back. Definitely don't want to pull it on this one. Your OB, if you do, OB runs pretty much where all those white stakes are, so it's tight. Not a lot of forgiveness over there on the left. Right, the trees are pretty dense, so likely a punch out. Green's pretty flat. Nothing nothing crazy. Fly into 12 here. 12, generally it's a shorter club off the tee to keep yourself out of the water on the right there. Hitting driver, you push slice one there, you're definitely going to find the water. Trees on the left, good 230 high shot, should get over them on the left. Pretty simple hole, one of the easier holes on the course. I've got the pin in a pretty tricky spot though on this one. Fly into the, technically on the scorecard, handicap number 18, which is technically, they say, the easiest hole, which is, in my opinion, crazy, being a 200-yard par 3, but yeah, that's what the scorecard says. And pretty slopey green, little tricks to it. Gotta know what you're doing. Crossing the road here, over onto par 4, 14th up the hill. This is the hardest hole on the course. This is one of the more difficult holes in actually the entire province, especially if you're playing it from the back. It requires like an exceptionally good tee shot and approach shot, and the green's a 3-tiered green that's very difficult. If you're cutting the corner, you probably need 280. Coming up the hill here, got the pin on the back tier here. But fantastic hole, one of the nicest holes in BC, in my opinion. And we've got the par 3 15th, about from here 185 up the hill. This green's pretty diabolical. I mean, there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot of angry complaints about this green, but it is what it is, and it's exactly how it plays in real life, which is near impossible. So you're gonna have to be pretty dialed with the putter if you're gonna even want to keep it in the gimme circle. It's a tough hole. And we've got the 16th here. 16th is a fantastic hole, arguably my favorite par 5 in the lower mainland. It's a true par 5 at 550 yards, probably playing closer to 560 from the tee and where I've got it today. You can see this tree in the background right here where the bird is, right above it. That's your aim point. If you get it out to that tree, it's about a 300-yard drive. It's beautiful hole. A lot of people aim at this tree, and if you're a long hitter and you hit it over that tree, you're out of the course OB. Got a nice stream running through the hole. Green slopes heavily from left to right, back to front. OB runs the whole way down the left, and you've got a creek running down the whole right side. It's a tough little hole, but fantastic hole. Got the 17th hole right now. And shorter par 4. Usually it's a shorter club off the tee. If you want to hit driver, you gotta pound it out over everything quite a long ways, but definitely doable for the long hitters. The green, it's defense, so better be dialed in with that wedge if you're coming in from 40, 50 yards. And there's creek run on the backside for errant approach shots. Coming into 18 now. Beautiful hole. Hard dog leg. I know it doesn't look like it on the tee marker sign, but it is a hard dog leg to the right. Coming into the corner. Probably need about here you need about 235, 240 to have a good clear shot. 250 is perfect. Anything longer, you risk running into the trees. And if you plan on going for this green, you better be a giant high ball hitter. Definitely not something I have the skill set to take on, especially trying to get through those trees and over. It's a very well guarded green for people trying to do that. And a little shot of the driving range before we finish up the flyover. You see the targets, and they got the trampolines out there. Beautiful. Fantastic facility. Probably the best in Vancouver. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that has a better facility. There you go, and I hope everybody enjoys playing Burnaby Mountain. Let me know your feedback on the course and the DMs, and I hope everybody enjoys it.